Spiderman 1991 here. It's time for my weekly comic book reviews. These comics came out November 20th, 2013. Let's get started with my only DC comic this week, Animal Man number 25. Buddy Baker, Animal Man, and his wife Ellen head to the awards show in Hollywood because that's where Brother Blood sent his high priest and a couple of his disciples to draw Animal Man out because he wants to take Animal Man out because currently Brother Blood is taking over the Red. Also, the reason Ellen's going with Buddy is because she wants to help Buddy find out what happened to their daughter Maxine because their daughter is the avatar of the Red. And so when Buddy and Ellen show up, Buddy is able to fight off most of Brother Blood's disciples. But when he gets to the high priest, the priest starts mocking Buddy, bringing up his dead son Cliff, how he failed to save him and stuff, and Buddy almost gives into his this animal fury to kill him, but he doesn't, and he is able to stop most of Brother Blood's forces, but apparently it starts raining blood in both the Red and in Hollywood, and also after Buddy almost kills the priest, and he talks to his wife. Suddenly, at the end of the issue, he gets transported to a weird alien planet. The ending of that, where Buddy gets transported to an alien planet, I just kind of went like, wait, what the hell just happened? It's a shocking ending, obviously we'll probably get some answers next issue, but until then, I'm just kind of like, wait, what the hell just happened? What does this have to do with anything? And it's not the good kind of, oh man, I want answers, I can't wait for the next issue. I'm just kind of like, seriously, I hope they don't mess this up. That's how I'm feeling, because I do not want them to mess this up, because Animal Man has been one of the best titles that came out of the New 52. I think Jeff Lemire's doing a great job on this, but the Red and also this reinvention of Brother Blood, I think he's doing a great job on it. I don't want him to screw it up with this story arc, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, this really doesn't feel like one of the better things Jeff Lemire has done on this title. So, Animal Man number 25, I say borrow it from a friend if you want. Otherwise, just wait till next issue. Right, now it's time for Marvel with Young Avengers number 12. This is basically the Loki and the Young Avengers fighting Mother and and the knockoff League of Evil Exes, while they try to rescue Teddy from Mother. And also during their whole fight, Loki, who was last issue transformed back into a teenager, who surprisingly looks like a young Tom Hiddleston in this book, surprisingly loses his powers from that's implied to be caused by Leah. So, Young Avengers number 12. The only reason anyone should get this title is just because Loki's in it. That's it. That is the only reason I can honestly say, because I really have not been enjoying Gillen's run on Young Avengers. It started off with some good promise with the focus on Billy and Hulkling, but eventually they just kind of faded into the background. Now I feel like Wiccan and Hulkling have just sort of faded into the background, and this focus is kind of more on Loki, and also Miss America, Kat Novar, and Kate Bishop, and Prodigy. It just feels like they just have to be there. And they only have one purpose, and it's just convenient for the plot or something. And I'm really not getting the connection between the characters. It's just a really bad team book, and if you just want a story that features Loki, then get this title. Otherwise, just skip it, and there's only 3 issues left of Young Avengers, which I have to say, thank God. I'm probably going to get the last 3, though, just to see. Maybe the ending might have some promise, maybe the ending will pay off, but I really can't but I really don't like it enough to tell people to get this book unless they're fans of Loki, because that is the only thing. That is the only reason why people would get this book, is if you're a big Loki fan. Okay, next up, Daredevil number 33. Daredevil learns that the book he's searching for, that's apparently a big focus, that apparently contains a lot of information about the Sons of the Serpent. It's apparently like this old ancient book that predates mankind. Apparently it's like this really ancient tome of spells and stuff, and it also deals with spells that apparently can fight vampires, werewolves, zombies, Frankensteins, and mummies, which explains why in the last issue we saw a vampire, a mummy, werewolf, Frankenstein, and a zombie. Yeah, so Matt Murdock pretty much goes and gets the tries to find the book. On his way, he runs this whole hallucination where he has to deal with the serpent, the original serpent from the Garden of Eden, and there's like this huge hallucination of like hell and stuff. But fortunately, Daredevil's blind; he only hears it, so he's able to power through it. He makes his way to where the book is kept, and it's apparently part of this ancient library with like a bunch of other ancient books, ancient spell books and stuff. So he grabs a few pages about what he needs about the Sons of the Serpent, then burns the entire place down and leaves. Okay, this whole tie-in with the monster, with the whole vampire monster, with the whole classic horror-themed monsters. I feel like this story would have been better if it was in one issue with last month's issue, because if they had combined that, put it out last month, said it was a special Halloween episode, special Halloween issue, I might have a little more positive things to say about it, but honestly, the monsters really don't do anything. I mean, I felt like they were just there to kind of give us an explanation about what the book is, and that's it. And Matt pretty much did, and there really wasn't much of a fight that Matt had to go through to get the pages of the book he needed. But so I'm not saying that I'm just saying that right now, with this issue and the last one, Mark Waid may have hit a speed bump on his amazing run on Daredevil. But overall, I think this Mark Waid run on Daredevil is amazing. Overall, it's been fun. I just think that the last two kind of just went a little bit below the bar. But nevertheless, there's only 3 issues left of Mark Waid's run left on Daredevil. I cannot wait to see what happens. I really hope he ends it well. Can't wait for the rest of it. But right now, I'd say Daredevil number 3, skip it. Okay, and the final comic is the Superior Spider-Man Annual number 1. This annual is actually written by Christos Gage, not Dan Slott. And pretty much what happens is an old member of the Kingpin's group hires Blackout to go kidnap May Parker so that he will convince Peter Parker to sabotage Spider-Man's tech, because everyone knows that Peter Parker works on Spider-Man's equipment. So when Spider-Man finds out that Blackout kidnapped May, he decides to go after May himself, and when he does, he's able to free May. Also, he severely really beats the hell out of Blackout, and right when Blackout's like near death and stuff, Superior Spider-Man's like, look, you tell everyone you know, you tell every single person in the underworld that Peter Parker is off limits, or I will do to them what I do to you. And because Blackout's this half demon that's vulnerable to sunlight, he gets he has like a mini solar light that he uses to apparently kill Blackout. And unbeknownst to Spider-Man though, Aunt May was kind of watching the whole thing. Like she just kind of like went back and peeked in to see how Spider-Man was doing, and she sees him like torturing Blackout, then boom, final blow. And the next day, eventually we find out that word is getting around throughout all the criminal underworld that Peter Parker is off limits. When one guy tries to swipe Peter's wallet, he immediately runs back and gives his wallet back to Peter like, hey, here's your wallet, man. I don't want Spider-Man to come after me. And since word's getting around in the underworld, it eventually reaches the Goblin King. And when he finds out, and of course when one of the subservient goblins tells the Green Goblin, like, you know, Spider-Man's different now. He's deadlier than ever. We shouldn't go after him. The Green Goblin doesn't care. He's just like, bring it on! And that's where the annual ends. Okay, first of all, we got another teaser for the Goblin War. Dan Slott, you are killing me, making me wait this long for the story arc. It's going to be so awesome, and I want to read it now. It's killing me. But you know, we have to go through the next story arc, which will be involved Venom, so I guess that's okay. But yeah, the Superior Spider-Man Annual. If you're looking for a good one-shot story about the Superior Spider-Man, I would say get the annual, because it's really great. It is $4.99 though, so if you feel like spending that much on this story, please, by all means, get it. But yeah, I think it was great. This time, since we are starting to kind of see how the Superior Spider-Man's actions are affecting the people that he's pretty much been usually worked with in the past. Like, we've seen how the shift from Amazing to Superior has affected Peter's job at Horizon, or former job at Horizon, how it's affected his relationship with the Avengers. Well, now this focuses on pretty much how Aunt May feels about Spider-Man. So obviously in the past, Aunt May was like anti-Spider-Man. Eventually she did warm up to the idea after Peter told her her secret identity, but then eventually that got erased due to one more day. But May still kind of had... Eventually May did kind of come around to Spider-Man, but now that the Amazing Spider-Man is superior and he's been getting really brutal on most of his foes, now it's not the case, especially since she just saw what he did to Blackout. So, unfortunately though, they don't show that, like what happens the next day, because they just show that Peter's on his way to visit Aunt May, and that's it. And that's when the whole pickpocket thing happens. But I wish they kind of would have included, like, the next scene with, like, May talking to Peter and maybe telling him that, you know, he should cut off all ties with Spider-Man. I mean, I think that would have been a good idea. I think that would have been a good scene to include in this, but, oh well. But overall, I think this is a great Superior Spider-Man one-shot. I highly recommend people buy this if you haven't been reading Superior Spider-Man and you're curious about it. Okay, so that's it for my comic books this week. As you can tell, it was a pretty light week. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. What did you guys get this week? From your local comic shop? Please comment below. Also, thanks again for subscribing. Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.